All right. Does it matter now that you looked at the stat sheet, you saw everybody's stats, but like you mentioned before, moral games are just moral games. But tonight, your guys did what they supposed, or what you needed them to do, and you've been trying to get across to them. So, fellas, you got to keep fighting.
Well, it's been obviously some tough going for us. We've had some setbacks early on in conference play. We've had some injuries. But my message to the guys today that we talked about adversity. And adversity breaks some people at the end of the day, but it make others break records because they raise up to a different level. And we had a choice to make. What we were going to do with the things that we were faced with. I thought our guys came out tonight and just took the extra steps, made the extra plays, made some tough plays down the stretch, and obviously coming out of there with a buzz of win, like we've had some setbacks on, I think speaks volumes just about the resilience of this bunch that's in the locker room.
It was double digits until the last, if I'm not mistaken, the last 3 minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden, knocked down free throws, got a couple of turnovers, you scored, you got back on defense, and then the change just kind of like overwhelmed your opponent tonight.
Yeah, a 16-point deficit at halftime. That's a tough hole to really dig yourself out of, especially when a team is playing as well as Jackson State. You have to give them a great deal of credit. I thought they did a great job of coming out with the right mindset, mental attitude, and executing at a high level, which they shot over 50-something% there in the first half. Our goal was to try to get them down to maybe the 30s in the second half to give us a chance, and then we had to win the rebound war on the glass. They had about 15, 16 or so points off of our turnovers, so we had to do a much better job of taking care of the basketball after the half. Not only we didn't do a great job in terms of getting them to 30%, but our guys executed at the highest level that we have all year, shooting 75% from the field there in the second half, and that was the difference in the ball game.
What made you put Chris Craig in?
Chris has been one of those guys. We've been in some emergency situations because of our depth and guys being injured. And probably had that not happened, I'm not sure exactly in terms of a trust or where do you go. This young man has been able to play enough games for us or whatever when we had other guys not available, and he's shown that he's extremely capable. So I trusted him. I did not hesitate when it was an opportunity for him to go in. Excellent passer. He's smart, really high basketball IQ, make good plays, and he was in the right place at the right time tonight. Our guys did an excellent job of making the extra pass and not panicking there at the end and just taking a tough shot. We were able to draw their defense, make the extra pass inside, and get an easy bucket.
Coach, you mentioned before that adversity can either break you or it can force you to succeed. We have seen consistent growth from your young players across the board. What are some things that you stress to them as they're figuring out this level of competition?
Well, it's about playing your hardest every second, every play. You're not going to play a perfect game, and the biggest thing we've got to do is make sure we're playing as hard as we possibly can. Play through our mistakes, get to the next thing. And I'm so excited about the young group that we do have because those guys are fighters. They're warriors. They play extremely hard. They exhaust themselves when they're out there on the floor, and they were a big part of this win tonight. The other big thing is one of our veterans, Walker, who's been playing out of position because we've had other guys out, thought came up big tonight with 28 points tonight, going down with injury, had to go in the back and get stitches or whatever for his eye, and then coming back out and playing big down the stretch for us was huge.
Coach, talk about that. I think this is the second game that he's played basically with one eye.
Yeah, well, he's both eyes, but he's gotten hit.
Yeah.
Last game, unfortunately, he was forced to the sideline because of fouls. I think he wound up fouling out of the game in 11 minutes. He only played 5 there in the first half, 6 in the second half, plus whatever there was for overtime. And we're so excited for him because he needed another breakout game because we know what he's capable of doing.
Having a guy like that you can depend on in situations that understands the game itself and understands that You've got to involve your teammates. He doesn't take advantage of his situation just because of that fact, and he includes everybody in every offensive situation.
He's a system guy, and he knows, throughout the game the opportunities are going to be there for him. He's not one of those guys that when he catches, he's just looking to shoot. He's always looking to make the next best play. For us, a lot of time it is him shooting when he's got the opportunities, because he's put so much pressure on the opposing team. He's a matchup problem for most teams because he has guard skills from the position that he plays.
All right, Coach. With that, introduce yourself and we'll close this out.
Johnny Jones, head men's basketball coach of your Texas Southern University Tigers.
And this is Jerry Lee Woodley Jr., the college sports reporter, signing off.
And can I say